Hi, friends. Welcome to TakeThree Talks. I'm Steffi, and I'm going to be your host. I'm joined by my favorite, the one and only co-host.
Hello, it's Guillermo.
Actually, my two co-hosts. Actually, it's a full house, right? We have 5 beings in this room right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking with my co-host, Mei June. Please say your voice
Hello,
so people
hello.
can hear you.
Very nice to be here. I'm excited to talk about whatever we're going to be talking about today.
Okay.
Which you will
We have our
explain to us.
protagonist character, the prince, the king, the reason for this podcast episode, Guillermo.
El Perro.
Guillermo Kai Ramirez, also known as Hello, it's Guillermo on all social media, principally, in
You can say that, I guess.
principally on Instagram. Principalmente. Oh, that's another one of those Spanglish words I make up. And we also have our girl Penny. Our girl Penny is Guillermo's cousin. Rest in peace, cousin Teo. And we have Guillermo's brother, older adoptive brother, Tobias. And the pug, also known as Hello, it's Tobias on social media. And yeah, so in this episode, after a minute 13 second introduction of nothing, basically, you're going to hear a lot of dog sounds in the background today. So, you know, let's just join in on the fun. We're going to be talking about Hello, it's Guillermo's adoption and life story and our life story with him, right? We're gonna be throwing it back to 6 years, and we're going to be taking you through the whole process of meeting, like our process of getting ready, meeting him, being with him, overcoming our struggles, taking him on adventures, his Instagram. Very big little nugget of this episode is going to be talking about our relationship to Instagram and how he changed the Instagram world life for us, which then really led up to TakeThree. But yeah, this is an episode focused on our king, Guillermo, and
the chief marketing officer of TakeThree Studio.
Exactly, my sir. Chief marketing officer. He's our boss, basically. But yeah, I know that there's a lot happening in the world. We've been postponing making this episode for about like a year and a half. And sometimes it's like either we get in fights or we just don't have capacity to do this, or I don't know. We're taking a break from the podcast, and now literally the world is on fire outside. And we were like, should we postpone it again? And we're like, you know what? Like, let's just sit down. Let's talk about our dog. We love doing this. We love sitting here and talking about our dog to anybody and everybody. So we know that this is also something that makes people happy. Dogs make people happy. Yeah. And we hope that this episode gives you some sort of company and keeps you company wherever you're in the world, and reminds you that there's always little lights at the end of the various tunnels we go through. You know, whatever is going in your part of the world is pretty fucked up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I just want to add to that. I think it's really important because, yeah, as you said, the world is on fire, like almost everywhere, you know? So sometimes things feel so depressing and disappointing and down and dark. And, you know, our therapists have said, like, there's a lot you can't control. But what you can control and the things you can find light and joy in, you should take advantage of and just lean into that. Yeah. And that's kind of what we're doing right now with this podcast. We've been kind of putting it off for a long time because of a lot of reasons, and we're going to make another reason out of everything that's happening around the world. And I think doing this is our way of having some kind of control over our lives and finding some spark of happiness. So I'm glad we're doing this.
Yeah, I'm excited. Are you guys ready to join the ride? Let's raise our hands up as if we're going up the roller coaster.
Raise our paws up.
We're up in the roller coaster. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay. Welcome to Hello, it's Guillermo, the story of our Korean meat farm rescue dog story. I mean, I said story twice. You get it. So, Meijun, let's take the people back to where we were. It was like, let's say, the end of 2015, the start of 2016, when we were starting to talk about becoming dog parents.
Good memory.
We had been dating for about like 9 months or so. You were so erratic about just like, let's get a dog, please.
I know. I wish I'm actually more erratic now instead of thinking so much about it. But yeah, I was very much into the idea of getting a dog. I was so in love with dogs. And I was like, hey, Steffi, let's get a dog. You're like, no, we can't do it right now.
Yeah.
We have to be more responsible.
Yeah. I just like, I had grown up with dogs my entire life. And like, I remember when my friends in high school gave me a bunny and my parents stopped giving me my $5 they used to give me and started giving the $5 so that they could pay for the alfalfa that the bunny needed to eat. So because this bunny ate a fucking lot. So out of my $5 that my parents used to give me to school, like it ended up being like $1 or whatever. So the point is my parents always tried to instill in us like the value of money and like the responsibilities and how like things get paid for.
Yes.
So I knew that animals were a responsibility, and I grew up with dogs my entire life. Like at one point we had 17 dogs in our house.
That's crazy. That's another story, guys.
Yeah, but I also knew that we had just started dating, that we went from being friends to being boyfriend and girlfriend to like working. Our visa stuff was like had just gotten through. Like we won the lottery visa. We had just gone through so much stuff. Like I remember like I had gained so much weight, and I had started like birth control pills, and like everything was just like
a lot was happening.
Exactly. Yeah. Like when you say like why we don't get engaged, it's like it's just a lot is happening.
A lot is
like,
happening.
It's like why we're not getting a dog is like a lot was happening. Yeah. You know?
It was a specific chapter in our lives back then, and we needed to kind of close that chapter out.
Exactly. Yeah. We just kind of needed to run through the last little marathon of it. And I think, to be fair, I think it was the best thing we could do because we went to Puerto Rico and
in 2016.
Yeah.
All of 2016.
We were able to like travel, and we were able to like we went to, I think, New Orleans for the first time, or we had him already when we went to New Orleans.
I think we had him.
Okay.
Already,
so the point is we traveled and like tried to like do our things. And I don't know. I was always very much a planner, so I kind of, I think I've let go a bit of that now.
You have,
but a little bit. I think of the erratic, the erraticness of my control and my perfectionist and my planning. But we kind of started talking about this. I think
it was right before 2016 hit.
Yeah,
and then you were like basically telling me that, hey, it's a lot of responsibility, a lot's happening. I think that we should wait till 2017.
Yeah.
So
2017.
Yeah. You were like, let's wait till 2017. I was like, you know what? I can wait. Yeah. We can start doing research and stuff. So yeah, we waited an extra year from the day we started talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that wait, we also like talked about what our values like to be like dog parents, like. Are you into rescuing, or do you want a specific breed, and why do you not want to, do you want to adopt dog, and even if you want to adopt, like what kind of adoption centers do you want to go into? We did so much research, like,
and we saved money.
Exactly. If there was one thing Major and I do, like, and that people need to understand, is that like Major and I are like A+ students, like. I mean, like, oh my gosh, like A+. Like Majon was the actual A+. Like he was valedictorian of everything, even his nursery. So
nursery.
You probably were the valedictorian in the nursery and the babysitters. But okay, so listen, listen. So when we say we're gonna do something, like we're gonna go for it. We're gonna do it right. We're gonna sacar el jugo. We're gonna like. You know?
Yes.
So we said we were going to adopt a dog, and shit got serious quickly. Like we were like going on trips, like weekend trips, I remember, to like Petco and PetSmart to see like dog beds. Like,
and prices for
things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we were, I think we did a lot of research.
Into the adoption centers.
We went to check out like
breeds.
Exactly. Too. So it was a year long's worth of research and learning, and getting a taste of an idea of what we want and just talking it through. And I think we're just preparing 1 year for it, mentally, emotionally, financially.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, we started. When Major and I got together, we started saving, and part of like our saving goals that year.
Yeah, 2 uses.
It started. It was for travel and for our dog.
Yeah.
So we knew that we needed extra savings just for this dog because we knew that it was extra responsibility and extra like mala.
And I think having a dog in New York is the price.
It's a whole different.
It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. But tell us maybe why you wanted a male or why you wanted a female, or did you have a preference specific, or do you remember?
I think I was more leaning towards having a male dog. But I don't specifically remember if that's factual or not. But I do remember that I wanted like a dog that was like small enough to cuddle, and because at the end of the day we were living in New York, so we couldn't have a giant dog, and we needed a dog that we could travel relatively easy with, because that was one of our goals, to travel more, right? Since we got our visa. So when you wanted like a smallish dog, preferably male, and yeah, that's what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I 100%. I think I always just wanted a male. I'm so sorry, but I'm not dealing with another thing menstruating every month. Like it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like I don't know until when do like females dogs, bitches, like have periods, but like I just like can't deal with that. Like it just feels like a whole other thing, and then like just feels like a lot.
And it was our first dog, so we wanted.
I just wanted a dog,
a little bit as easier as possible.
Yeah.
And
I mean a dog, as in like a dog means male.
I do, and it was funny because before we even knew what dog we wanted, we knew the name of the dog.
Yes.
Remember we talked about like this is a game we always play. Bob, John, but yeah, the game we always play was okay. What would you want to name this thing?
Yeah, but you need to give people the picture. So we used to play this game, and we would meet after work. We would text each other what train number, like cabin we were on. Like we had like gone in, because if you don't know, like rush hour in New York,
it's crazy,
to the subway, like you're like literally hustling to get into that
train. You would be like, okay, I'm in the F train, in the third to last, from
the front, train
from the back or the front. And then I'll be okay.
Or sometimes we would catch numbers,
and sometimes when the train is passing un poquito, I would see your face waving, and then I would just run to meet you in the exact train. But we used to play that game.
It was so cute. And also it was fun because that way, like, we would be able to, like, kind of commute home. So we would plan, like, when we would leave. Yeah. Be like, hey, I'm leaving the office now. Okay, I'll give you 15 extra minutes, because we knew that we would, like, match, like, exactly, like, okay, if I leave my office right now, the next train, like you would see in the app, is at 3:37. Like, life in New York is planned. Like, you people don't understand. Like, you don't like suddenly stumble into a train.
And everything happens on time.
Exactly. And when you live there and you work there at a corporate America, you know, I don't know how it is for people that live there and freelance, but that's how it was for us.
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
Anyways, we would play this game at the subway on our way home, because we lived like really far. We lived by the Broadway Junction stop, if you guys don't know where that is, or Rockaway Ave on the A train. Not ARC. Rockaway, not far Rockaway, but Rockaway Ave. Yeah. So it was like pretty like dangerous, and it was just not a safe neighborhood for us to have a dog. Like, I would tell Major, and like, when we're gonna adopt a dog, like when we adopt a dog, then we know that the next step is going to have to be moving, because I can't like walk the dog and like get mugged and like get murdered, you know? Like, we didn't leave Latin America to have to live through this. Yeah. I mean, you didn't leave Latin America, but you left Jamaica.
The Caribbean. Same thing, same idea.
And just like way better food. I'm sorry. But Yeah, I love some Jamaican food right now. I think, yeah. So in that year, we had like prerequisite that we almost needed to meet, which was like getting a raise or earning some extra like money or whatever we needed so we could save in order to move to a better area, which meant more rent. Also, move to a better area that had more space if possible, and the commute was commutable to the doggy daycare. Like that's like lot, yeah. that was a logistic on its own. So in that year we were also researching doggy daycares. Do you remember we were psychopaths? Like we would go and plan to go to like Williamsburg after my cycling so that we could visit the doggy daycares around the area and vet them. Yeah. And we would ask them like what their we would ask them like what their policies were and like how they acted, and you're able to go and see how the dogs are doing. And
overall just get a vibe from the people there. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so we did a lot of that research for sure, and it was a lot of work, and we put a lot of effort into preparing for Guillermo to be part of our lives. And yeah, as I mentioned before we kind of went down that tangent is that we knew Guillermo's name before we knew what dog we were gonna get. So yeah, Guillermo was 100% the dog name, and we just needed to match the dog to him.
We were in the subway train, and Meijun goes, yeah, so what should be the dog's name? Like, should it be like Bob? I'm like, what the fuck? Who names their
Bob
dog
the Barker?
Bob? Like
Bob the Barker.
Maybe that's not a bad username though.
Oh, that's
you
true.
Should say that.
Okay.
Just kidding. Like that would be a really good handle, Bob the Barker.
That's true.
I really like that. And it would be funny if the dog's parents are actually called like Parker or something like that. Oh,
that's true.
Okay, but off tangent again. What I wanted to say was, Meijun goes, yeah, should have been named Bob. And I'm like, who names their fucking name the dog Bob? I'm like, no, it should be something like, like Guillermo. And he's like, what? Like, how do you even say that?
He's gonna be. Actually, I didn't know he was gonna be Korean.
We didn't know he was gonna be Korean, but it just kind of stuck with Guillermo. Yeah. And he was like, "Oh my god, like Guillermo, like cute, the Jimmy Kimmel." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's so funny." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think it should be like Guillermo." Like, I don't know. I love it when dogs have like human names. Like, I think it's stupid when people say that, but I love it.
Yeah.
So
but yeah, that's the name.
Yeah, that's how we came up with Guillermo. And we made sure that when we got his Instagram, we put like, how do you pronounce it? So people were always like, oh my gosh, people that's so funny. Pronounce it, yeah. So kind of speeding through this, and yeah, we by the time we actually actively started looking, we got really overwhelmed because we were like, oh my god, what the fuck, like half of these scams, like how do you buy a dog online, like where do you find these shelter centers, like so we were just really overwhelmed. So we kind of decided to stop a little bit and put a pause on like trying to actively adopt a dog, because we just felt like we were kind of like overwhelmingly planning about it and like not letting anything happen smoothly. And we were getting really nervous and like just overly, I think, attached to the idea.
It's true. We kind of fell in love with every dog, and we're like, okay, we don't know if this is the right one, blah blah blah.
And then it would be like this thing where you're like, oh, I really like him, okay, let's think about it. Oh, I really like him, okay, let's think about it.
And this was towards the end of 2016.
And it was just too much. So we were like, okay, you know what? Let's just like take a pause on this and whatever. And then I was talking to one of my, to my coworkers at the time, and she had a dog, and there's always like, I think, people around her with dogs, and she was telling me about rescues, and that's where we found like social teas and like this like little rescues. And adoption shops, and that's kind of in the research process, remember? And we would find these really cute dogs, and we just started sharing dogs, I think, with one of my coworkers. Or we were talking in the office, and she was following this pet store in Williamsburg. Somehow she sends me this cute ass photo. Like, you guys have to go to our Instagram, we're gonna post it there. Insert photo here, right? Like, Oh, it's also on the blog that I'll post the show notes as well. But the saddest, cutest, like most like my heart's photo of this animal that just, I don't know how to describe it to you. It was just like,
you just knew. It melts your, when I saw it, it melted my heart. I looked at his face and I just knew
it was undoubtedly
this is Guillermo. Like there's no way that we cannot go meet this dog right now.
Like this dog was like birthed for us.
And the caption was something along the lines of, hey, I have it. Yeah, you can read it.
It says, Robinson is still available for adoption. He's a 4-month-old Jack Russell Terrier mix. He forms attachments very quickly and would be fine with a kitty friend. Contact Jen and Lori for meet and greets.
I know. We saw this and we're like, okay, we have to. It's still.
No, not that we saw this. It's not that we saw this. This is a story on its own.
Yeah.
So my friend sends me the Instagram. I am like, oh my gosh, this is Guillermo. I had aquacycling that night because I used to do class pass and I had aquacycling that afternoon, and I sent June this thing and I sent this photo through DM. Oh no, there was no direct message at that point. I think it was like a text message, a screenshot. Wow, OJ, no DMs yet. And I was like, I'm canceling class.
I'm leaving work right now.
No, it wasn't like that, but it was like basically.
Yeah.
But it was like, I'm canceling class. We're going to meet them.
Yes.
And it's like we both just knew.
We just had to. Yeah.
And then you can talk a little bit about how the meet and greet was.
Yeah. So after that, we were like, okay, as Steffi said, like cancel everything. Nothing matters right now. We have to go meet this dog, Robinson, right? Soon to be Guillermo. And we went directly to PS9 Pets in Williamsburg. That's where he was sheltered or kept when they rescued him from the meat farm. So we went. No,
that's where Gina would meet people.
That's where Gina would meet people.
That's where they would do the parties. That's when it wasn't that famous.
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, they
were.
They
used to do their events at PS9
That was a location
Pets.
for them, to be able to use.
Yeah.
So we went there. We met Guillermo, and it was he was the smallest, like 5 to 6 pound, delicate, fragile looking, pretty skinny, like not a lot of hair dog.
No hair.
And we're like, oh,
no ears.
My God.
Ears weren't sticking up.
His ears were down. Like it was like sad, but at the same time, like my heart was just melting for him. And we just knew he was a dog. I was like, there's no way I'm not getting this dog. But at the first time we met him, he was so scared, so timid, so shy. I couldn't get close to him. But somehow, like, Steffi just, like, sat down and was very gentle with him. And he just slowly climbs onto your lap. I have this on video. I remember it
also be in the show notes.
So vividly. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, Gino was like, this has never happened before. He's never, like, gotten so close to any other human. And the fact that he just went onto your lap, sat on your lap, and was just like with his arm, like just his paw, just like on the edge of your, his signature like gentleman pose, his paw just hanging. I was like, there's no way. Like he already feels comfortable with his Steffi, and I knew from that moment that we were going to adopt this dog no matter what. No matter what. We were like, Robinson, you ain't no Robinson. You're going to be Guillermo. So I remember that's the first time we met him. And this was on January 30th, 2017. So
yes, boy.
We stopped looking, and all of a sudden your friend sent you the photo, and we just canceled all our plans, and we just went to meet this dog because we knew.
Was January 30th like a Thursday?
I don't remember, but it was definitely a weekday. And it was January 30th. So we met him, and then we talked to Gina about the logistics, how it's going to work, how much it's going to cost to get Guillermo. And after going through all those details, we basically just kind of went ham. We went to PetSmart, got all the things that we needed, like the crates, dog food, like just any emergency stuff for the dogs. We got everything we needed so that when she did the house visit,
but she didn't
but the thing is, she didn't. But the plan was to. So we got everything ready for the house. Yeah. We already had an extra rooms, so that he has that entire space for himself. We got pee pads, everything you can think of. So because we're like, there's no way we're fucking this up. Yeah. You know, it was like applying for the visa. We made sure all of our paperwork was good and everything. All of our references, like
3 photocopied folders,
literally,
our
passport, everything. But we had our room ready, and I think that at the end of the day, she didn't come to visit because I think she got in contact with our references, and we sent her photos, and she trusted us through all of that. So she didn't come to visit our apartment to see if it was ready for a pet. But that's very typical. Like they do come to visit your apartment and to make sure that everything's good. But yeah, so that happened, and we went through all the logistics, and then on February 3rd,
and we paid the $500 fee.
It was around, I think it was $400 at the time. Yeah, I think it was around
400.
Yeah, it was around $400 adoption fee. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, they flew them all the way from Korea, and all this money goes towards helping the dog. So it was totally reasonable for us.
It covers the dog.
Covers it, exactly.
The neutering, all of the spaying,
the vaccinations,
the vaccines,
everything.
All of the things that females and males have to do, like all of their medication, like everything.
Exactly. So when we got the approval from Gina was like, okay, you guys, are approved. You guys can come pick up Guillermo
tonight. Can you guys come tonight? It was Friday, and we were in Union Square. We had gone to Republic to eat Thai.
Did we? Was it that day?
To eat Thai food. Yeah, that was Republic.
It was Thai food. Yeah.
And she called or texted.
Vietnamese,
She texted and was like, "Hey guys, everything is approved. Robinson will be at PS9 Pets tonight. Can you guys pick him up?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Like this is it. Like let's go." And we just went. Yeah. But we had to have like the crate and everything with us. So I think that's where we went to get the crate and everything.
We went home and then went back.
No, we didn't go home.
Oh no.
I think that's when we went to the Petco right on.
We got
PS9.
an extra like carrier thing, I think, for him. I don't remember.
No, or maybe the carrier. No, it was I think the crate.
I don't. We didn't have a crate with us.
No, we didn't have a crate with us because
I remember he was on our lap.
Was on our lap. Okay, yes. Yeah. So, but we were in Union Square and we went to PS9 Pets, to the L train.
Yeah.
And we saw him, and he was wearing this beautiful blue
sweater,
rombo, like hexagon. No, what is it? Like diamond shaped, blue and like baby blue and like sky blue and like white, rombos, and it was just the cutest little piece of bag bones. Like, oh my gosh, and like big eyes and like sad as fuck ears. And, like, this red leash that gave him a rash. Yeah. And it was just so sweet. And I remember taking him home, and he could not go up the stairs.
But before he even went home, we can't go that far. This is the most important part.
I just got enamored.
I know this is the most important. We'll have to like take them like step by step.
Yes.
So we got there, we saw him, fell in love again, and we did everything. We signed papers, and we just like
took a picture.
We took a picture. Insert photo here, and we got a cab. We got an Uber or Lyft, and we were on our way home. And then once we got into the car, I remember, I think I was holding him first. And this was such a new experience for me because I've never held a dog to take back home. And I remember just holding him in the taxi. He was so small. And we were just like, we should just start his Instagram. Yeah. Let's just start his Instagram now, And I was like, what do we call it? I was like, it's Guillermo or something, or I'll go see, right?
Yeah, it's Guillermo.
And then you said, no, it should be, hello, it's Guillermo. I was like, oh my God, that's perfect, I love something that rhymes, And that's how we started Guillermo's Instagram. This was on the 3rd of February, 2017.
Oh my gosh.
That was the beginning. That was like a new chapter in our lives, basically. Because the moment we got our dogs, Guillermo, it was just like everything just changed. Priorities changed. We had to take care of this living being.
Yeah.
And
we went to a party that week, and we
had a
Guillermo
birthday
with us.
party scheduled. Yeah,
So
unfortunately.
we took a cab, and
He was in his I Love New York.
I love New York
sweatshirt. Yeah.
And people were like obsessed with him to Juliana's party. And
insert photo.
Yeah. Honestly, like our lives just like fully changed. Like I am sure that this is what people say about their children, you know, and like I'm not comparing it, but like just like I think the only thing that will make this like moment more is when and if I have a child, you know, like because the moment of taking him home and seeing this sweet little rascal like just not even be able to go up the stoop stairs, you know, and just like be so fucking fragile and like just like and he would shake and like
tremble the whole time,
tremble and tremble, has so much anxiety and so much fear. He's afraid of doors, he was afraid of the floor,
scared of like
his
bags
nails touching the floor, the bags, like terrified of Meijun, like just like honestly like he was so terrified of the world.
He was, and that's
human beings,
and every right to be, because like only Guillermo himself can imagine what he went through in the meat farm, being like probably physically abused or experiencing his other dog friends being abused and murdered,
being fed dog and like seeing your dogs being murdered. And,
like, your I can't even imagine like,
or even like if they were like gotten from the street and into the meat farm or whatever it was, like it must have been very traumatizing. Like,
and we saw some photos of what it looked like just being in those in that area. And this all happens because of the Yulin Meat Festival, and I'm sure that's what people say about us that eat like cows and pigs, you know. But it's just I don't think the Yulin Meat Festival should happen in life anymore, and I'm pretty sure it's been canceled in a lot of places, and pretty sure in Korea like there was something about the law. I can do some research as well if you guys are more interested in the topic, and I can send them via an email if you guys want me to. But yeah, this just poor dog, like he was just like someone please like take care of me, you know. He was beyond traumatized,
and he just was like so afraid of like walking in like the vinyl floor, you know, or whatever it is that we had, like the wooden parquet, whatever. I don't even know what it's called, like I'm talking whatever. And just like I would just fall on the floor, like I would sit on the floor and he would just find his way and crawl up on me
your
and
leg.
like be like
he was a lap dog
and
from day one.
Just loved me so much, like I was his mother, like I was his best friend, like the savior.
Yeah, literally.
Like, and just I remember the first time we took him on the train and like the subway, we were like, you know, we need to get him used to the subway really quickly.
It's so loud.
Yeah, he was so terrified, but we got him a carrier, and like we were such good parents. Like we like just listened to him and tried to like ask him like, what do you need from us, as much as we could, you know.
We were very patient
and super patient, and I think this is when we can get into a little bit of like the financial strain that this dog really caused on us, because you know we couldn't take him to work. Clearly we knew that, but he couldn't stay home because he had so much anxiety that he would like screech, like howl, you know, like howl like a full-on like wolf. And the neighbor go ahead.
I was actually able to take him to work. I was able to take him to work up until things like rules changed.
I know, but even like that was like the reality, like that's why you had to take him to work, you know, because he would just howl, like he would be alone and he would just howl, and we would do tests. And I remember one time the neighbor downstairs, she was like, guys, like, you know, this dog's super loud or whatever, and Lynn had sent us a message, I don't know, something like that, and you would take him to work all the time, and that was the way that you guys bonded. And
like, he was extremely scared of me.
He was almost like had to do like
exposure therapy. It was definitely exposure therapy. I think it worked out really well because
he's like, I kidnapped.
No, because as you said, like he was extremely scared of me, probably because in the meat farm, like it was mostly men that were the abusers, for the of the dogs. So it made sense, and I was an Asian man.
Yeah.
But yeah, the time that we got to spend together, from me taking him to work every day, was really important, so that he started to develop trust in me as the human that's taking care of him.
Yeah, it was like you were the only thing that he knew.
He knew exactly
from all of these things, and he was like, "Oh, okay, he's my human."
Mm-hmm.
So it
Mommy's
was so
not
sweet.
here, so I guess I have to like
do this guy,
deal with this guy.
Yeah, and just like I think he was so happy. Like, you were the best. You are the best dog dad. Like, you know, you made him like bed, like a bed area, and I couldn't take him to work. My building was not dog friendly. And like, you made him a bed, and like you have so many pictures, and like, you know, like he was like really good, but he also had a lot of accidents, and your coworkers were really patient with him.
They were, yeah.
You know,
I had to take him out every 2 hours at work, no joke.
Yeah.
And it kind of got a little bit uncomfortable for me because you know, like, I'm being watched, but like, you know, I have a manager, you know, and if it's too much and it's causing me to not be as billable, and I'll feel a little bit self-conscious, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to take him out every 2 hours at work. But the thing about Guillermo was he was so attached to the human. He would not leave or cannot be left without the human being there. I would go to the bathroom. He would follow me as I took a shit, as I was dropping a hot one at the office.
Like,
and
he would sit in your stall with you?
He would literally be in the stall just sitting there watching me poop or laying down, and I would just be like, I have pictures of this as proof too. I have pictures of everything of Guillermo.
We'll put all of these in the show notes.
But he would go, or if
Instagram.
and then I would start to train him to not be as needy, so I would let him wait outside the door instead of let him come inside to the stall with me to
and
poop.
He would do this.
Yeah, he would. No, worse. He literally howls like a wolf, like
at the office.
So insert sound here, Steffi. But like, he would be like, ooh,
yeah,
literally like that.
But like
in the office when I'm not there.
And like deep, like.
No, not deep. Very high pitched.
I mean like. I guess that's what I meant. Like,
yeah.
Deep as in like deep into the
earth
like
of the office. Yeah, it was. I got like a complaint once because I went out to lunch, like an office like lunch thing, and I left the dog with one of my coworkers. It was a mistake. I have a video of him just howling into the air, and I have a video of this, guys, and it's not even an exaggeration. But yeah, the point is, he was very attached, and he had and still has a little bit of separation anxiety from us.
But he had it so bad.
He had it extremely bad.
I could have helped him so much with that.
Yeah, but he could not be left alone. So, but yeah, that was a nice little
that
reminiscence.
And then tangent. But the point is, the financial strain also was crazy, because este man was always with diarrhea, with worms, with this, with that. Like,
he had lots of
all
issues.
All of these issues, skin this, like scratchies. But then we ended up realizing that he was scratching his skin, like his skin condition, and his like vomiting condition, and all of these conditions that he had were all related to the food he was eating. And it was all like a vicious cycle after thousands and thousands of dollar bills. And the vet was like, oh, let's put him on this thing.
Let's try this.
Oh no, but we can talk about, like, I guess. So he got a little bit better, right? He got off the worms, and then he got a little bit better. And we used to buy him regular dog food, like the can. Like, what did we used to? Because before the hydrolyzed protein.
Yeah, we've tried a lot of different. No, we tried a lot of different things. Tried a lot of different good quality food, and I think that. He had no more worms. He was fixed with that. Yeah. But then after a while, we just started realizing he was either like still, like either having diarrhea or
like water poop.
It was just not digesting well. And then after a while, we realized that maybe he was allergic to chicken.
Yeah, because we had given
or some type of other
bought him
protein.
this, like, one of those like raw food, whatever, and it went into this whole sprawl of like an allergic reaction.
He had puffy face.
Insert photos on the show notes. But it was so fucking scary. Major was on his way to work. Oh no, on his way to the doggy daycare. So I guess before we skip through,
there's so much to tell.
The doggy daycare, Meijun's office ended up becoming acquired, and then they ended up becoming not dog friendly. So then we were like, oh my god, fuck. So then we had to spend $500 like a month, so $250 each.
Yeah.
For daycare. And maybe it was $350 before, and then it changed to $500.
Yeah.
But the point is, a lot of more money, and going to find all these doggy daycares again, vet them, and find someone that would be able to take care of Guillermo. He was a very fragile dog. We wanted like a small space with not many dogs, lots of people, like humans that were capable, that we vibed with, and we found Your Spoiled Pets. But the OG Williamsburg location, in Greenpoint, not Greenpoint, but like it's like Williamsburg, but it's like on the edge, like East Williamsburg. I guess it would be. Yeah, it would be East Williamsburg.
Yeah. Lorimer Street.
Yeah. No, but it's not on Lorimer.
Was it?
It wasn't on Lorimer.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't in Green. No. Whatever. The point is, we found Jen Loves Dogs, who's the most important person if you're going to follow someone or go see them. Like, she posts only cute dog photos. She's a dog walker. And she's a dog walker. But she was like Guillermo's second mother. Like, I was telling Meijun, like, there's nothing Jen could do wrong because Guillermo loved her so much. Yeah. He felt so safe around her, and she prioritized him, and she took care of him. And
at the daycare,
like, they helped him so much come out of his, like, shell, and just, like, it was the best investment ever.
And Guillermo had daycare buddies. He had like a few dogs that he had
like a lot of girlfriends.
He had a lot of girlfriends. Yeah.
Like he would get in fights as well a little bit. He was a little bit like vicious.
But I remember when we used to get pictures and videos of him playing, we're like, oh my god, he's finally opening up. Yeah. He's not as scared, and just seeing him play was exciting because we never saw him do any of that. Yeah. But yeah, the daycare and Jen really helped Guillermo open up because we get again put him into exposure therapy again by socializing with other dogs. Yeah, without us
because we started realizing that we were a really big trigger for him. Yeah, because he always wanted to protect us. Totally. So he would like be like vicious as fuck with everybody else. Totally. Yeah. So then Guillermo gets into this allergic reaction. He's at daycare, but we would always have to pick him up, and then whatever, and then it was like dramatic and he ended up going into this hydrolyzed protein kick, etc., which was like really expensive food, but we had a lot of love for him, and like etc. We would travel, we would leave him with Jen Loves Dogs, and he loved it. Like, she would board him, and we would pay her, I think at the time it was like $50 a night for boarding, because she would take care of him like her own dog. And yeah, it was a really good, I think, time in our lives. It was really stable and life was great. And then we were like, okay, let's take a little trip with him. The first trip we went with him was to Portland, Oregon. We loved it there.
Loved the Blue Star Donut.
We would like move there if we could. I mean, I don't know if necessarily move there now, but yeah, I think it could be a city where I would like to live for a little bit of time. So we had the best time. We flew JetBlue, and we have a whole blog about this as well.
Traveling with our dog.
But we flew JetBlue, and at the time it was able to do it through Emotional Support Animal. My therapist like gave us the paperwork and everything, and there were some websites also that I think you could get it done at the time or something. But I think now you can't even take dogs as emotional support animals. But yeah, the point is, traveling there, I think, on the plane or anything was not hard. I think what was hard for us was that he was on this diet, but when we would travel, we would sneak him, like, oh, like, look, they have a puppuccino. Let's give him a little. Like, it's okay if he gets diarrhea.
I remember those, yeah. we were a little bit like,
lackadaisical.
Yeah.
But like have him like explore, because that's how we realized that he wouldn't do wrong in some things. You know?
We're testing, yeah.
We were kind of testing, and we would kind of see an immediate reaction. Like if he got the shits, then we knew it was not good.
Yeah. But in terms of the hydrolyzed protein that you mentioned, like we were on that for like at least a year.
And we were still on that when we went to Portland.
Yeah.
Because I remember us traveling with the cans.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. So yeah. And also I think there was the Pebble version, but he didn't use the to like it or something like that.
But that food was a lot more expensive than the normal food.
Yeah, 100%. And so we would give him like puppuccinos in Portland. They had like these like it was like goat's milk with a little bit of lamb lung protein, like dust on
it's
top.
So good.
It was so good. I mean, like the dogs loved it. Guillermo loved it, and we just loved that city. There was like so much. We walk everywhere because we didn't have a license, so that's something that about us is that when we traveled to a place that had good public transit. That's our first thing because we like to walk a city instead of drive outside, and we would take like bus trips with him, and we went to Cannon Beach, and
I remember. And he was small enough so he was able to. Yeah,
we should do like a little blog on this so that we can dump all the photos there. I think their Seattle one's already there. So Portland was our first trip. We loved it, so we were like, let's do it again, and we had planned a trip to Seattle. And as you guys know, that trip, you know, changed our lives. And I think it changed it for Guillermo's life as well. You could say, because that's where he tried salmon.
When was this?
This was February 2018. 19.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So we fast forwarded
2 years. Yeah. Now we've lived more years together. So Guillermo had been with us for what? 2 years? 1 year by then. 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
2017 to 2019. So it would be 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a life-changing trip for Guillermo as well. He was able to walk a lot. He was so jacked by then. Like, there's these photos. I'll post them in the show notes. Like, he was like, like muscly.
His legs looked really good.
So jacked. Like, we used to
He was actually a jacked Russell.
Yeah. We would make jokes about that. And his, like, butt was, like, so, like, tight. Yeah, it was just, like, he was so funny.
We saw that he was getting healthier.
Everywhere. He was getting super fit. And it was just so cute. And
we were in Seattle.
Got to try salmon. Fresh, wild-caught Alaskan salmon at Pike Place Market. Because
in Seattle.
We went with him. And the people at the stall would be like, oh my gosh, like, I'll post a photo of that too in the blog. And he was like, oh my gosh, like, he's so cute. Let me see. And Guillermo would do tricks. Like, Majin would be like, yeah, look, he can do like up, like high five, Snoot. And then maybe Snoot wasn't there. And,
I think,
and then paw, sit, down.
Yeah.
And he was learning down, I think. And they would be like, oh my god, so cute, like, can I give him something? And we'd be like, okay, yeah. And he would like give him salmon. He would like love it, so he'd chow down. And they'd be like, oh, here, take some to go. And we would literally steal the dog salmon for
we would
ourselves.
split it half with him.
We're like, Guillermo, this is our fees for being your dog managers, momagers and dadagers.
Yeah,
this is our fee.
I know.
And
but as you continue, like, small other memories start coming back. So please don't kill me if I'm making this even longer. But
it's okay. I think the people that are here just want to be here with us.
Two more things that we wanted to mention in terms of Guillermo and his growth and making him more comfortable as a dog is that we said that we were very patient with him. We really meant that. We trained him every night to like in terms of like his peeing situation. Oh yeah. We stood and we wake up at like every 2 hours, stand in front of the pee-pee pad, make sure he learns how to pee on the pee-pee pad if he's in the house. Like, we would literally, like, you know, the pee-pee pad is a square. We would go to that second bedroom in that apartment we were telling you guys. This was before we moved. Yeah. Good throwback. Way back. We would walk in and it was kind of like this room's layout. And then there was like a pee-pee pad, and Majun would stand on one edge and I would stand on another edge, and we would put Guillermo in the middle. Like, just on top of the pee-pee pad until he peed. And the moment and we would just close our eyes and like kind of sleep standing. Yeah. And until he peed, and then we'd be like, good boy. Yeah, we'll give him a treat. That was something we learned. Yeah. Give him a treat. And then we'll go back to sleep. And after like countless times of doing this, he learned how to pee on the pee-pee pad. The first time that we heard him, we were in bed and we just like heard him like jump off the bed. And then we would be like, I know. And Major and I just like held our hands and we were like, oh my god. And then we would hear, like, oh my god. And then we'd hear of like him scratching the pee-pee pad. Him trying to clean up after his pee. Yeah, he would fold the pee-pee pad.
And sometimes it would be icky because
Yeah.
why are you trying to fold your pee-pee, man? And then he would like come back and then on top of the bed again.
I vividly remember
that day,
the night as well, where the day out, one of the days we woke up and we saw that he had pooped on his pad too.
Yes.
We're like, oh my god, what a good dog. We're so lucky, like to have him be potty trained in a New York apartment.
Yeah.
As such a traumatized dog.
Yeah.
That was one memory. Yeah. And the other memory was that we wanted to just have him more social as a dog, so we went to group doggy training. Remember, at I forgot the name. And
Andrea Arden,
dog training. Yeah. So we went
which
there,
was close to your office.
Literally the same street as my office on 27th or 28th Street.
27th, I think.
And we went. We invested in that, and we taught him how to. We got the training to teach him different tricks so that he's more comfortable and confident,
and for us
to learn commands and just make sure that we have that relationship with him where he listens to us. And he graduated and he learned a bunch of different tricks. That's where he had learned some of the up and the pause and the stuff commands.
And I think the thing that we learned the most, or I learned the most also, was what are the things that I am doing that trigger him in a group situation. Like when there are other dogs, if I am nervous, he gets more nervous. So like, for example, when the vet comes and he's really nervous, if I'm there, like I just add a little bit anxiety, I think, to the environment.
He feels
my like, we're very connected emotionally. So that's why sometimes he's like, I don't want to be close to you, Mom.
He needs space.
So Majun takes care of him, but this is something really good that you also developed with him by going to your office, and like then this dog training was kind of like the creme on top. And then the cherry on top was that you were really good at teaching him, and you were really patient with him.
I loved teaching him different tricks.
And you would love it because he'd give you content.
Oh my god, like every day we would be posting, like from the day we got him 2017 in February, we would be posting so consistently. So let's take a little bit of a bio break. I'll pause here. Okay.
And then we'll upload a part 2 right here, but in another episode.
Okay.
And we'll take it from the Instagram content. And the Seattle trip, and we'll continue with the life.
Okay,
How
perfect.
About that?
That sounds great.
Okay. Let's go on a little bio break.
Okay. Bye.
Let's come back.